game day safety is a top priority for the Missouri State Highway Patrol.
Plus, how one business tossed things up in preparation for the Super Bowl game.
And it's time to look at the weather ahead for the week here in mid-Missouri with rain chances, even some flakes moving back in. We'll detail it all in my first alert forecast. This is KOMU 8 News at 9.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Well, with all of these Super Bowl celebrations, local organizations are weighing in about how to stay safe tonight. Good evening, I'm Ellie DeBeer. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, the current score of the Super Bowl is tied 35-35. We'll have updates on that later in sports. But first, KOMU 8's Siobhan Harms is live in downtown Columbia with more. Siobhan.
Ellie, with all these celebrations, a concern tonight is drunk and impaired driving. MSHP tweeted today saying, please don't drive impaired. If you feel different, you drive different. Impaired driving accounts for just over 20% of traffic deaths in Missouri. And between 2017 and 2021, there have been over 1,000 deaths involving an impaired driver. That's according to the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety. I spoke to a representative from AAA about what you can do tonight to stay safe.
Make sure you have a sober ride coming home from wherever you may be going, whether it's the bar or a house party or whatever it might be. And just as a reminder that, it's great to have a good time, but, certainly make sure you're staying safe on the roads when you do so.
Now, if you do need a ride tonight, the MoDOT and the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety are partnering for a way to make those rides more affordable. For details on that program, head to KOMU.com. Live in downtown Columbia, Siobhan Harms, KOMU 8 News.
All right, well, thank you, Siobhan. While she was downtown, she talked with some of those avid Chiefs fans, and win or lose, many of them said they're just happy to watch them in the big game. Now, as those Chiefs fans have been gearing up for the Super Bowl watch parties all week, that basically KOMU 8's Jackson Valenti shows us how those businesses are expecting a boost from the Super Bowl.
The National Retail Federation says Americans will likely spend over $16 billion on drinks, food, merch, and more for Super Bowl Sunday celebrations. Mid-Missouri is no different. Chiefs fans across Columbia are going all out for their game day fun, whether it's college students downtown or Girl Scouts in front of Hy-Vee. And with all those parties, local restaurants may get an opportunity to break a record.
There's a lot of wings.
Como Smoke and Fire is normally closed on Sundays, but the kitchen stayed open today.
This is the busiest day of the year for chicken wings.
The National Chicken Council expects Americans to eat a record-breaking 1.4 billion chicken wings.
I think between the two stores we had like 6,000 wings go out.
With Smoke and Fire making thousands and thousands of wings today, they expect to go through about 10 gallons of ranch.
Making that much food is a serious undertaking.
It's an all-week process, getting enough wings done, plus keeping the wings for the stores in general, because we sell a lot of wings all the time anyways.
But that week-long process is worth it to create a perfect game day party. Jackson Valenti, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
Well, that is a lot of wings. Como Smoke and Fire says the Super Bowl is always a huge boost in business, even when the Chiefs aren't playing. And speaking of those Chiefs playing, today was quite a warm one for mid-Missouri and those Chiefs fans watching. We're now joined with Chief Meteorologist Matt Beckwith. Matt, can I put my coat away, or is winter just not over yet?
It's February, so don't put that coat away yet. Temperatures are going to get colder at the end of the week. It's 43 in Jefferson City now, 50 in Columbia, 49 in Sedalia. We have the warm temperatures now. Those warm temperatures staying with us through the middle of the week, but you can see the cold air off to the west. It's building, moving in, heading here for Friday afternoon. But this cool down, it's brief. Here it is, Thursday, Friday. Back warming up into the weekend. Temperatures should be back into the 50s there. As for tonight, temperatures going to slowly drop into the lower 30s. Around 33 is where we pick things up tomorrow. Upper 50s in the afternoon. Lots of sunshine. We're talking about a rainy Tuesday, though, so we're going to explain that change in the pattern coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. Well, a New Jersey teen's death by suicide is currently sparking controversy. The victim, 14-year-old Adriana Cush, took her own life after she was attacked in a school hallway by 4 students. The attack was caught on video and posted to social media last week. The former superintendent resigned a day after her funeral services. However, he noted the unjustness of the tragedy.
You know, bullying has no place anywhere, and in society and school, nowhere, but unfortunately it does go on.
Family and investigators say Central Regional High School handled the situation poorly, but the school district says it followed proper policy. A gunman opened fire at a nightclub in Buffalo early this morning. Police say there was an argument before the shooting started. A 21-year-old died at the scene. 2 other people were injured, are now in stable condition. So far, no arrests have been made. A Minnesota officer shot and killed a man who was allegedly threatening people with a knife. Police got a report of a man threatening people with a knife in a community room at an apartment building. When officers arrived, they found the man in the first-floor hallway.
He had a knife in his hand, and officers directed him to drop it. Officers retreated when the man advanced on them. One officer deployed a taser. A second officer fired shots that struck the man.
Now, investigators say the officers were wearing body cameras that had recorded the encounter. Officials say the officers involved are now on administrative leave. 3 people are injured after being electrocuted while working on a roof in New York. Fire officials say construction equipment came in contact with a high-voltage power line. The 2 workers using the equipment suffered serious burns, while the worker on the ground suffered minor injuries. Authorities temporarily shut off the power for nearly 2,000 residents. Power is now back on in the area. Opposing protests for the 2022 federal lawsuit on abortion medications took place in downtown North Texas yesterday. The lawsuit challenges the FDA's approval of certain medications used for chemical abortions. Demonstrators with the Women's March gathered in front of a courthouse to speak out against the suit. Meanwhile, protesters who oppose abortion held a Stand for Life event to show support for the lawsuit. The district court judge is expected to issue a ruling at the end of the month. Coming up, find out where another unidentified object was shot down for the 3rd day in a row. And SpaceX successfully deployed their 10th mission this year. We'll tell you more about that.
We still could use some more moisture. We have that in the forecast. We'll talk about it coming up.
Welcome back. Well, today animal lovers were able to tune into the annual Puppy Bowl, and this year's contest was a close one. For the first time, the game went into overtime. Team Fluff beat Team Rough 87-83, winning the Lombardi Trophy. More than 100 adorable dogs took part in this year's Puppy Bowl. The goal is to help them find their forever homes and to raise awareness for pet shelters around the nation. A chemical leak caused parts of Texas to shelter in place earlier today. Authorities say the leak happened at a warehouse west of Houston. Health officials describe the chemical leak as being a pungent gas with suffocating fumes. Fire officials say no injuries have been reported in connection with the leak. Here's what's happening right now. Rihanna recently announced that she is pregnant with her 2nd child after the Super Bowl halftime show tonight. Rihanna made clues throughout her performance by rubbing her stomach. Her outfit also made her baby belly apparent. When we come back, hear the latest information on the recent unidentified object. Welcome back. Well, the Chiefs just won the Super Bowl 38-35. Very exciting for us here in mid-Missouri who are diehard Chiefs fans. And now the U.S. military shot down another high-altitude object today. That's according to a U.S. official. This is the 3rd day in a row an unidentified object was brought down over North American airspace. Another U.S. official says the takedown was at the direction of President Biden. Tina Kim has the latest.
Late Sunday afternoon, Michigan Congressman Jack Berman confirmed the U.S. military shot down another object over Lake Huron. That makes the 3rd unidentified object brought down in as many days. Saturday, an American fighter jet shot down an unidentified object at an altitude of about 40,000 feet. It happened over Canadian territory in central Yukon. Both President Biden and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau ordered the move.
An unidentified object entered unlawfully Canadian airspace.
It represented a reasonable threat to civilian aircraft. Canadian and American fighter jets were scrambled, and an American F-22 successfully shot down the object. Recovery teams are on the ground.
Canada's defense minister described the object as cylindrical. Just one day earlier, an American F-22 took down an unidentified object near Dead Horse, Alaska. Reportedly, some pilots said Friday's object, quote, interfered with their sensors. Officials add the mystery objects shot down Friday and Saturday were significantly smaller than the Chinese spy balloon an F-22 brought down a week ago off the coast of South Carolina. Republicans criticized President Biden for allowing the balloon to cross the continental U.S. before taking it down. Now, some are giving Biden credit after Saturday's shootdown.
I would prefer them to be trigger happy than to be permissive. But we're going to have to see whether or not this is just the administration trying to change headlines.
I'm Tina Kim reporting.
Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said he was told the two latest objects are likely balloons. National security officials are pushing back. They say the objects do not closely resemble the balloon shot down last weekend. However, they declined to characterize the objects at this time. Now, not something being shot down, but something launched into the sky is a friend, not foe today. SpaceX sent another batch of Starlink satellites into orbit this morning. A Falcon 9 rocket topped with 55 Starlink internet satellites lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. SpaceX confirmed that all 55 satellites successfully deployed a little over an hour after liftoff. This is the company's 10th mission of the year. Matt.
All right, let's go. Let's look at the forecast here. High pressure moving off to the east, low pressure system off to the west. That's moving in here. It's going to be bringing some cooler temperatures, at least briefly overnight. Right now, we're near 50 degrees in this cloud cover. It's spilling into the region, but it's not going to last long. Temperatures dropping here over the next couple of hours. Eventually, we fall into the low to mid 30s for Monday morning, but notice that the clouds pretty much gone at this point. They're going to continue to be gone through most of the day. Lots of sunshine in this forecast. 57 in Marceline, your first alert neighborhood forecast on a Monday. 59 in Mexico and in Harrisburg in our southern counties. That's where we have that better potential to hit 60 degrees. Looking at Westphalia there, 59 in California, Ashland, 60 in Chamois, and 60 in St. Elizabeth. Overall, looking pretty good across central Missouri. Tuesday, going to be a touch cooler. That's where we have a slight chance, well, not a slight chance, actually, a widespread chance of some rain, a slight chance of maybe a rumble of thunder. Wednesday, 63 degrees. Heading into Thursday and Friday, that's when that temperature cools back down. It's really the pattern we've been stuck in all week and for multiple weeks, where we start warm, we end cold with a chance of some Wednesday, Thursday rain snow mix. It's not going to amount to much though. Winds relatively calm tomorrow, winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour on Tuesday. So not only is it going to be raining on Tuesday, it's going to be windy as well. So you are going to want to have the rain jacket instead of the umbrella, because the rain jacket, or rather, the umbrella is kind of useless there when you've got wind blowing at 40 miles per hour. It's probably going to break first off, and if it doesn't break, you've still got that wind blowing the raindrops right in your face. Thursday, breezy as some colder air forces its way back into the region. That moisture chance not looking as impressive as what we're going to be seeing on Tuesday here in central Missouri. Valentine's Day, temperatures not moving a whole lot. Dinner outside, again, you're wanting that rain jacket in the 50s there. Monday night, the cloud cover advances back from the south. Rain chances moving in here. They're going to be very widespread for us. Wednesday, the sun shines back. Then on Thursday, we're kind of in the sweet spot here. We're not going to be getting much in terms of rainfall. We'll get a few showers. Parts of the south and southeast, going to get severe weather out of this storm. Parts of Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, going to get a pretty decent winter storm out of this. Here in mid-Missouri, we're looking at a few flakes. That's pretty much it. Of course, if the track of that system changes, we could see some changes to the forecast, but it just is not looking like a significant storm for us. Above average temperatures set to continue here in mid-Missouri in the 6 to 10 day range. 33 for tonight, winds out of the southwest. Tomorrow, 59 degrees. we're going to see some sunshine there. 54 on Tuesday, looking at some rain there. Then we're in the 60s on Wednesday, and then we're going to flip that number around on Thursday to 36 degrees. 38 on Friday, 52 Saturday, 58 on Sunday. Looking pretty good there. We'll keep you updated.
All right, Matt, thank you. Well, New Zealand residents are bracing for severe flooding from Cyclone Gabrielle. It's been 2 weeks since a record-breaking storm swamped New Zealand's largest city, killing 4 people and leaving hundreds of homes unlivable. Much of the city has ground to a halt, including train services, libraries, and schools being canceled and closed. Authorities have also asked people to only make essential trips. All domestic flights and many international flights have also been canceled through Tuesday. Well, Patrick Mahomes led the Kansas City Chiefs to its 3rd Super Bowl win. How they did it, that's next on KOMU 8 News Sports.
Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports.
Super Bowl 57, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a Super Bowl of a lot of firsts. First brothers competing against each other, first black quarterbacks facing off in the Super Bowl. Here's what has happened in the Super Bowl today. Some key plays that we have for the Kansas City Chiefs. First quarter, Kelsey's moms are super happy right now to see Patrick Mahomes connecting to her son, Travis Kelce, for the 18 yards to tie the game at 7. One of Mahomes' 3 touchdowns on the night. Later on, Mizzou alum Nick Bolton fumbles and runs for 36 yards to tie the game at 14. And former All-SEC linebacker Nick Bolton right here, he's making an impact in the Super Bowl. This was his first Super Bowl, and he recorded 1 fumble recovery and score. On to the Philadelphia Eagles side, Jalen Hurts has scored a record 3 rushing touchdowns. Hurts also threw 45 yards to A.J. Brown, a wide receiver. Field goals making an impact. Eagles have 3, but Harrison Buckner makes the 27-yard field goal to lead KC to the 38-35 win. We'll have highlights on KOMU at 10. On to hoops now. MU women's basketball coach Robin Pinchon said in recent presser, if the Tigers want to go to the NCAA tournament, MU must win out. And Pinchon and MU have to get past Arkansas, who defeated them by 20 points in the first matchup. In the first, Tigers' Mama Dembele here with 6 of the first quarter points. And in the second, offensive struggles continue for them as Avery Kroenke made some points there. The Tigers could not get past Christy Carr for Arkansas, who had 18 points. Tigers lose by 28.
And we are frustrated, and that's a bad combination right now. So, we got some magic to work over the next couple days, that's for sure, before we play a really tough, gritty Mississippi State team.
Mizzou softball playing a doubleheader up first, Prairie View A&M and Clearwater, Florida. Tigers' Sierra Harrison went 4 innings, 7 strikeouts, and 1 hit. The Tigers' offense also performed well. That's Maddie Gallagher's base hit, 8-0 Mizzou. Now it's Jenna Layer, her teammate, getting a run across, and the Tigers win 11-0-5, lost to Louisville at 4-0. Dennis Gates and Mizzou men's basketball will go for the win against number 20 Auburn on Tuesday. MU's DeAndre Goldston is helping MU down the stretch. He hit a buzzer beater against UCF earlier this year. Fast forward to yesterday, and Goldston at it again. And that's against number 6 Tennessee, leading MU to an 86-85 win. And that's it for sports.
Welcome back. Here's a look at what we're following on KOMU 8 News at 10 o'clock. The world's tallest Valentine's display will be turned on from now until the romantic holiday on Tuesday. Find out just how large the LED display is. That's at 10.
Temperatures looking pretty good on a Monday in mid-Missouri. We're going to start at a cooler note in the 30s. We'll get to the upper 50s in the afternoon. Let's look at that extended forecast for you. We're going to see rain on Tuesday. It is looking to be a pretty rainy Valentine's Day here in central Missouri. But I do want to go ahead and give you the first alert. If you are headed west towards Kansas City, don't assume that it is just going to be warm there because of the warm air here. It is going to be mild. It is going to be relatively dry. Some late day rain chances going to be moving in for the afternoon for that celebration. Temperatures in the 40s for the Kansas City area. So manageable, certainly.
Okay, well, I'm glad we got good weather today for our Chiefs win. That's our time. Have a good night.